Mm, Let me play some calm music. There we go. Alrighty. And we're going to try and do a little multitasking project here. I'm not all dressed up, but I got on my US Open here. Shout out to Serena. Serena in the US Open. And Naomi. Naomi was at 2018 US Open. That's when she won against Serena. Okay. All right, guys, welcome to the Shanshine Speaks podcast. We are recording from the library today. I love the library. I am such a nerd. I have been in the library as soon as I was old enough to go to the library. I remember my first library tour ever in life, and you had encyclopedias, and you could have access to all the books possible. And I love book fairs, and I used to hate that I didn't have money for all the books because they were all so expensive, and I wanted to read everything. Okay, I got a little something in my nose, and I look like I got a little gray hair growing from my chin. But this is life and where we are currently. I remember I used to be like looking at my mom pluck hairs, and now I'll be plucking hairs and stuff. Anywho, it's funny how time passes and life progresses. I am drinking some positivity, as always. And today's positive message says, relate to your greatness and not to your weaknesses. It says the principal ingredient of life is love. It's love. I'm recording this content with my BU sign sitting in front of me. I got an early birthday card. Shout out to all the early birthday love that's been coming in. Today is July 29th, and my birthday is 4 days away. And this beautiful birthday card says shine on. And the inside, oh my goodness, y'all. Since I have it in front of me, I might as well read it to you. But it says Shanshine. God, Yahweh, heard you when you prayed, and he began to set a list of miracles into place, into motion immediately just for you. Do not throw away your confidence. You have a ministry and anointing from God. Acknowledge him in all your ways. Believe there is purpose in the pain, transformation in the transition. God, you are shifting. Oh, I lost my place. Purpose in the pain, transformation in the transition. Shannon, you are shifting and growing, shaping and shining. Only focus on what you wish to experience. Be proud of yourself each and every day. Okay, this is for the Beats people out there. Y'all, earphones does not stay in my ear holes. I'm gonna need different earphones. That's what just happened there. That fell out. But yeah, I will be reaching out to y'all because they wouldn't let me return it to stores, so I have to go through Apple or Dr. Dre and them or whoever directly. So Dr. Dre, I'll be calling you. Be proud of yourself each and every day. You are already wealthy, full of influence. Remember this as you begin a new. Shannon is the owner of her future. Chin up, shoulders back, let yourself go. Love always. The top says, inhale love, exhale love. Now repeat. Talking about a beautiful bestie card, I just love it. So thanks so much for the early birthday love and for the birthday blessings that's yet to come my way. We are already 3 minutes in, but we're staying calm in the chaos, so we are not here to rush. We are here to flow. And what is flowing next is I want to give you guys a little bit of these everyday promises for women. I pulled this book out today. Inside of it, it has this picture of my Little sis just smiling so big. I had to send it to her when I found this picture. But I've been using makeshift bookmarks. So I got pictures in here, I got receipts in here because I'm running out of bookmarks. I've been doing so much good reading, I'm running out of my bookmarks. So I'm gonna have to get me some more bookmarks because certain things, you gotta pause it right there. You know that was a direct divine message just for you. Wow. And it just so happens to be on day 190 that I found this picture, and it says, "You're blessed when your commitment to God provokes persecution. The persecution drives you even deeper into God's kingdom." Matthew 5:10, the Message version. "He who continually goes forth weeping, bearing seed for sowing, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him." Psalms 126:6. I'm gonna read that again. "He who continually goes forth weeping." Okay, you might be crying, but you're still pushing forward. "Bearing seed for sowing." That's what you're taking with you. You're bearing seeds to sow, even though you're weeping. "Shall doubtless come again with rejoicing." No doubt. There will be no doubt. Doubtless come again. And I'm going to look up sheaves for the both of us because I think y'all might need to know the definition, and I know I do. "Shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves." Oh, sheaves is a bundle of grain stalks laid lengthwise, tied together after reaping honey, okay? A bundle of objects of one of a kind, especially papers. Coming with a bundle, you coming. "He will be rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him." Okay? With Jesus as our example, we carry on, even when discouraged. Being belittled for our faith is tough, but we have hope knowing what is to come. We can go out with seed for sowing. Know there will come a time for great rejoicing. Shout out to my Nigerian mother who just texted me. I will be texting you back, but I'm recording right now, my love. Jesus, thank you for being the example, my Father. Jesus, thank you for being the example I can follow. Help me to have the courage to face each day, knowing my joy is in you and my hope is in heaven. Amen. 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 Okay, guys, so let me adjust this mic a little bit. What a beautiful word to start. I also wanted to read to you guys the importance. Day 57. Day 57 is about sharing the gospel. Also pray for us that God will give us an opportunity to tell people his message. Pray that we can preach the secret that God has known about Christ. This is why I am in prison. Colossians 4:3, the NCV version. He said to them, "Go into all the world. Preach the good news to everyone." Mark 16:15, the NIRV version. So many people have no idea what it means to have the Spirit of Christ in their hearts. It is our job as the voice and hands of God to let people know the truth of Christ, so they too might come to put their trust in him. Help me to teach others by the example of my life what it means to be a Christian. I will put my trust in you. Help me to share that trust with others. Amen. Amen. Y'all, this book is so good. I got so many days marked off, but the whole episode is not for me to read this to you. I will be reading more of this good book to you guys. This is Everyday Bible Promises for Women. This was given to me by my stylist after the first photo shoot I did for the Brilliant Awakening. And I tell you what a blessing. It's so amazing. I was there to use her services, but she blessed and poured into my life. Now that is graded customer service. Poured into my life every time I read that book. So I'm about to fill out this questionnaire with you guys. I'm doing a feature for my business. Shout out to the REI Women's Business Center for wanting to feature my company for the month of August. Talking about a birthday blessing. Y'all know August is my month. You know, the second is my day. You know, I love to celebrate not only my life, but other people's lives. I love to celebrate people's birthdays. And I really believe that we should live every day as if it is our birthday and go after everything that we want and that we desire. And if we don't know what we want, we need to learn how to stay in tune with ourselves so that we can figure out what we want. And I want to read from you guys from my mom's book, The Miracle Book by Miss Aretha Neely. And she is a great inspiration behind the business. And I didn't find out about her book until I believe 2018 or 2019. And she passed in 2012. And I had the blessing of being her caregiver. And one of my counselors, I recently found a note, my journal. Well, gee golly, excuse the noise. I'm over here being a human. I recently pulled out my journal from 2013, and I had wrote in there, I had started going to counseling actually in 2014, November the 6th of 2014. I wrote down, caregiving is an advanced way of seeing life by being a caregiver. And I had wrote down the book, The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. And it changed the way I started looking at life. I saw a TikTok video yesterday of a crisis nurse talking about how she now viewed life differently because she's seen, or trauma nurse, because how she's seen people lose their life and how death is something that we should be more comfortable talking about. But my mom, before she passed, she had me go to the funeral home to plan her funeral with her before she even passed. And I just like, what? I did no. But after she passed, I realized how much of a gift that she was giving me and giving the family of not wanting us to, and there was still chaos, even though she had already planned things out and had listed me as her power of attorney and made decisions on, what she wanted to be buried in and different things of that sort. But I want to read to you from her book. This is an important lesson that I had learned about myself and something that a revelation that I had after I read what she had wrote about me on this particular page. So she said, my daughter Shannon was grown. She and her sister Sheila was staying together one day. Shannon fell on something and Shannon went to the doctor. He put her on crutches and said she needed an operation on her knee. My daughter Shannon finally told me about her situation, and she came home and I began to pray for her and give her instruction. She didn't need the crutches anymore and her knee wasn't hurting anymore, and she began to walk like she had walked before. To God be the glory for all the things that He's done. The Lord let my oldest, Roger Neely, go to Erin County and return as he went. Physically and mentally, to God be the glory for it all. But I wanted to stop there and talk about it. She stated that I had finally told her about my knee hurting. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier, for us asking for what we need and being not only a good caregiver for others, but being a good caregiver for ourselves. I had injured myself, and just because I was over 18 and living on my own, I really did not think to even call my mom to tell her about my injury. I just thought, I got insurance now. I go to the doctor, listen to what the doctor said. But I never thought to put prayer on it or to let my mom even pray for it. Because I did used to go to my mom to have her pray for things like, Mom, I got this test coming up. I don't really know. Can you pray for me? And my faith wasn't always there. But as my faith would increase, my own personal prayer life started to increase. But I didn't have the courage to tell her what I had going on, or I didn't even, she said she finally told me, and I began to pray for her and give her instruction. After I did finally tell her, I do know she was praying for me. I had no idea that she was writing about what was going on, that she was keeping up with what was going on, watching the problem until it got to the solution so that she could thank God for the victory. And that is such a beautiful thing, to have someone praying for you. And not only praying for you, but waiting in expectation for God to bless and correct things for you. They are praying for solutions for you, praying with intention for you. And she prayed that He would turn me back to where I was. I am now 35 years old, have not had surgery on that knee, have been all over the world on that knee, have run on that knee, worked out on that knee, done all kinds of different things, swim on that knee, travel, I've walked, I've run, all kinds of things. And that was from that prayer that came from my mother back then, when I was listening to doubt and doctors who said I might not be able to walk on it like normally again, that I might always have that a little adjustment because one knee was doing different than the other knee. But God worked a miracle. And my mom was writing a miracle book about it. She was expecting miracles to show up in our life. She was expecting God to bless us, to cover us. And I learned so much from that. And I want to encourage you to write the vision, make it plain. Write a prayer on that. My new journal I have, and you let me know if I need to help you draft a prayer. Like people used to copy off my homework all the time. Listen, this is the time to copy. You copy my prayers down too. If you don't know how to pray for yourself, you go to people who know how to pray. There's a lot of amazing books written. And as I'm working on my new book, I'm writing down those prayers and writing down those things. I saw in 2013 that I wrote down a prayer. I had this journal and I had wrote down my name on it, Shannon Neely, the Net Church. I was going to the Net Church at this time. And I'm not sure if I believe this was a Sunday message that caused me to start writing this down. But I put Sunday, August 11th, 2013. I said, it is a war going on, but I don't plan on losing, ! And then I went down to write down strategies, influences, ways to train, problems with emotions, problems that I grew up with, how to get rid of those problems, asking them to live something they don't see regularly, being childish, how I'm going to get my family back from the enemy, how I'm going to give it to God and I'm not going to take it back. What is it that you want God to give to God? What is the process of releasing it to God? I wrote about my life, my talent, my time, my treasures, my burdens, my enemies. I wrote to cast your burdens and He will sustain you. And I have faith that He will sustain me and you. I wrote about righteousness. I wrote about the importance of forgiveness, accepting failures, seeing things from others' perspective. To choose a direction, a leader must have developed a mental image of possible and desirable future state of the organizations. The importance of trust. Don't let me get to going. That was in 2013. Anyways, all of these great writings, down from my mom's handwritten book that she wrote out. Handwritten. Just her beautiful penmanship. She took down time to write the vision, write it out, write out the miracle. And God is always doing something amazing in us. And sometimes we don't take time to write it out, to document it. I used to say that as a 911 operator all the time. Document it in the call. If you didn't document it, it didn't happen. Because most of the time people don't go back and listen to the recording. They're just going to read the little, what you documented. So if it's important, document it. Your life is important. My life is important. Your legacy is important. My legacy is important. We have to document it. So for this episode, I only had one question written down. What would I do if I knew I was worthy? What would I do if I knew I was worthy? What if God really is on our side? You're worthy and He's on your side. Well, I wrote down, that was actually 2 questions, I noticed. I wrote down that I would create a safe space place. I would create a safe space place, and I'm so happy to say that I'm actually doing that, and that is what my business is all about. We had the sponsor, shout out to Chase Bank for being a great sponsor to my business team. I really appreciate each person that you guys have been providing to bless my business, and they wanted to have a vision and dream session with me so that they could capture the enormity and entirety of the dream. And so as she was saying that, I was like, oh yeah, listen. She's like, get ready. What do you mean, honey? The dream is written. I have a whole book titled Dream Big, and it's full of big dreams. That is what it's full of, big dreams, including my prosperity tree. Shout out to Abundance Nation, including my declarations for my 55x5. Okay, on Instagram on yesterday, I made my 555th post, talking about my birthday coming up in 5 days. But guys, now let's get to it. We talked about some things, we got warmed up, but the main thing I want you guys to, and I might not even post this full episode because it's just raw, but I want to answer these business questions with you as being a small business highlight and a business owner. You know, sorry, I got like a pimple going on my neck, you know, my hair's not all combed, but sometimes when you're building something, you gotta get down and dirty, honey. So if you want to see some cute pictures of myself, you can go ahead and head over to my Instagram at Shan Shine Speaks, SHAN Shine SHINE Speaks, SPAKS. Well, we are in the middle of recording, so we will be calling you back. Okay, so I am going to continue filling out the paperwork while you guys hang along, okay? So question 1, it's asking for the owner's name. That's me, 100% owner. Yay, me. The company is Lit Legacy. Yay, Lit Legacy. The address is P.O. Box 1592, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73101. If you guys want to mail a blessing. You hear my nails struggling with the typing? One thing for sure is I know how to type. We had to type a lot at 911. Okay, so I might pause some of this video and just capture the rest of this via audio. So make sure you guys tune into the podcast episode.